Hello, Eurovision fans. Welcome to Getting Down to the Nitty Gritty with Sidney Paul. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. Please subscribe to my videos and make sure you ring the bell so that you can get notifications. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate it. Everyone, please like my videos. Please share my videos. And if you feel like it, go ahead and leave a comment. All right, so Eurovision 2024 ended a couple months ago in May with Nemo, who represented Switzerland, um, winning the contest with his song The Code. Go and look at my video, my top 10 video, and see where I placed his song in my top 10. However, there was the surprising event during the contest, during the performances, right after the second semifinal, of Joost Klein being disqualified. That's what this video is going to be about. As far as the EBU is concerned, I believe it's their it's over for them. However, there's still the case with the Swedish um, law that's still outstanding that has not been decided. But anyway, I want to give you my commentary on the situation based on um, the information we know. There have been a few newspaper articles that have come out since May, came out in June, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to just give you my commentary on it in the nitty gritty. First, I want to give you a little summary of the EBU statement. You've probably seen the whole statement. But anyway, here's just the basics, just a little summary. It states that Jost was um, disqualified from the grand final following threatening behavior directed at a female member of the production crew. And it says Swedish police have investigated and they're going to hand it off to the prosecutor. They also state that the decision to exclude him was backed by the contest's governing body of members, which includes the Eurovision Song Contest Reference Group, and it was unanimously supported by the EBU Executive Board, and following their thorough internal investigation. So Martin Osterdahl didn't decide on his own by himself to disqualify him. There's a whole group of people, multiple people, who weighed in on this decision. At the end of their statement, of the EBU statement, just says that they have zero tolerance policy towards inappropriate behavior at any of their events, and will always take the necessary actions to address threats to staff, no matter who they come from, who the threats come from. Okay, which is fine. They should do that. They should also um, take this type of policy towards performers, um, also, and probably people who attend the contest, which would be just quite broad, quite big. But anyway, that's their statement. So Avatros, who's the Netherlands, the Dutch broadcaster, also issued a statement, right? In May, shortly after the disqualification was made public. In their statement, they say that an incident occurred after the semifinal performance. And they also say that against clearly made agreements, Yost was filmed when he had just gotten off stage and had to rush to the green room. At that moment, Yost repeatedly indicated that he did not want to be filmed, and that was not respected. This was not wasn't respected. This led to a threatening movement from Yost towards the camera. Yost did not touch the camera woman. This incident was reported, uh, followed by an investigation by the EBU and police. Um, it states that they consulted intensively with the EBU and proposed several solutions. But nevertheless, the EBU still decided to disqualify Yost. Avatros finds the penalty, found that the penalty was very heavy and disproportionate. They say they stand by, they say we stand for good manners. Let there be no misunderstanding about that. But in our view, an exclusion order is not proportional to this incident. They also state, we are very disappointed and upset for the millions of fans who were so excited for tonight or that night. Um, um, what Yost brought to the Netherlands and Europe shouldn't have ended this way. It should not have. Okay. And I'm gonna come back to that statement. Shortly after the disqualification occurred, the Netherlands Times did an article, published an article called Joost Klein Could Soon Face Prosecution, May Have Confessed to Eurovision Threats. Okay, so this reads, let's see, Dutch musician Joost Klein could be prosecuted within a few weeks of the allegations that he threatened a camera woman working for the Eurovision contest, which led organizers to disqualify Klein from the event. Now, the date on this article is May 13th. So, you know, the singer reportedly confessed during questioning regarding an incident that happened just after Klein concluded his semifinal performance at the Malmö Arena in Sweden. Sources told newspaper Aftonbladet, I hope I pronounced that right, that Klein became agitated by the crowd of photographers and videographers closing in on him, and that he lunged towards one of them with a fist. Although he reportedly did not strike her, her camera was damaged and she was treated for a laceration, the newspaper reported. Several witnesses told investigators that Klein was very aggressive in his reaction, the newspaper stated. He was also very remorseful right afterwards, saying, "I'm sorry," over and over. Okay. And then it goes on to say, you know, regardless if the police were involved, and they talk about, you know, the evidence against Klein. I don't even get into that. It also says the police have thus far said Klein is only under investigation for making threats and not for assault. But sources told Swedish media that the woman's story differs from what the Dutch broadcasters have said, of course. Yeah, you have her side, his side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle, if you ever heard that saying before. Of course, they're different. Let's see. And then it goes on to talk about the prosecution. You know, they're going to do an expedient prosecution, which is, I never heard of anything like that. You know, here in the United States, you get a speedy trial. But I've never heard of a expedient prosecution. Okay. So it sounds like, you know, from the evidence they've collected that they, you know, he's guilty. And according to the witness, well, anyway, it's not for me to say. That's for them to decide. But that's pretty much the gist of it. The rest of it talks about the prosecution process, and uh, the prosecutor or someone from the prosecution office saying what what the possible end will be, what it looked like it may be. Anyway, moving on from that. So on June 7th, another article published by the Netherlands uh, Times, the NL Times, as officially it's called. It says the Netherlands might skip next year's Eurovision after Joost Klein controversy. Okay. And then it says the broadcaster, which manages Dutch participation in the Eurovision contest, said the Netherlands might skip the event next year. While Arbitros has not made a final decision, the broadcaster was still angry about how Eurovision and event organizers, European Broadcasting Union, handled a backstage incident involving Dutch performer Joost Klein last month, which led to his disqualification. Um, until Arbitros has confidence that structural adjustments will be made to focus on the artists and their musical message again, we will continue to deliberate over participation in the Eurovision Song Contest, the broadcaster wrote in a statement on Thursday. Well, and this is dated June 2nd, so whatever that Thursday was. Arbitros believes that a broader, in-depth, and truly independent investigation is needed to address structural problems. The organizer specifically called for detailed and independent look at rules, regulations, procedures, and appeal options in case of complaints, and the increased pressure on the artists and the delegation uh, in the run-up to and during the Eurovision Song Contest. Even before the backstage incident, the broadcaster had complained that the backstage and green room atmosphere was unsafe, too demanding, and forced entertainers to take political stances. Last year's Dutch entrance at S10 reported a similar issue. So wait a minute. All right, so I want to start right there. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Right now. All right, first off, I want to talk about what I'm reading in this article. About what the broadcaster is saying. Um, uh, they want structural adjustments to be made, um, and the focus on the artists and their musical message. Okay, from what I see, that's already being done. That's the focus. There are people who try to make it political, try to focus on political things or politics, but it is focused on the artists and their music. That's all it's focused on. And they want to deliberate until then. There says in depth. Let's see, structural problems. Rules and procedures, regulations. They want to talk about that. Well, yes, there are some rules that have changed, but I think there have been rules that have made the contest better. Um, and other than that, I mean, any rule changes have been made public. We all know about that, and it really has to do with performances to make the show better, more entertaining, like eliminating the juries from the semifinal, stuff like that. Now, my question to the Netherlands is, when you hosted the contest, when you won, it pretty much the same rules, except for these, the recent changes. What are you talking about? You weren't complaining then when you hosted. So now that your performer has had an incident, it's a problem. Okay. The atmosphere, and it's unsafe. Well, how is it unsafe? I mean, you saying this, you putting it out there. Tell us what you're talking about. Give us detail. Did you tell the newspaper the details? And they should be printing it so everybody can know. How is it unsafe? What's the atmosphere in the green room? Because if there's something that was going on, in the green room, um, from what we see in the green room, the thing is everybody's having a good time. You don't see any glum faces, okay? And if something was unfair, then you should see that. Too demanding. Too demanding how? And the don't force entertainers to take political statements. Actually, it goes against that. It does not promote that at all, as far as I'm saying. Now, leave me a comment. Let me know. There are people who think that out there. Let me know what you think. The article goes that let's see, Albatross said that an agreement has been made that Klein would not be hounded by cameras. Now, see, this is from this semifinal, that he wouldn't be hounded by cameras. I wanted to address that from the statement that Albatross gave in May, that there was an agreement. Okay. Well, what was the agreement? And if there was an agreement, produce it. And I'm going to say this: if it wasn't in writing, then there's no agreement. And the incident is not about the agreement. It is about Joost's actions towards the camera woman. That's what this is about. The disqualification is about. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get into that a little bit more. So if that, and in EBU, this is not, of course, this is getting down to nitty gritty with sidneyrpaul, so all of this is my opinion. You should be making no agreements, any agreements with any performer about no cameras. When you come to perform when you go to perform in Eurovision, you're going to do interviews. You know that there's going to be cameras, and a lot of them. You go down the red carpet, well, not red carpet, I guess turquoise carpet or whatever color carpet it is going to be. There are cameras, plenty of them. Videos are going to be made. Okay, so delegations. If you have an artist that's going to represent you, and they will talk about, well, I don't want to be videoed, I don't want to be pictures taken, let them stay at home. Don't send them. Do not send them to Eurovision. All right, then let's see. The article says that, all right, because there were cameras, this led to the controversy behind the scenes moments after Klein's second semifinal round performance, when the singer was pursued by Eurovision crew members backstage, including a camera woman. An altercation between the two took place, but accounts of the incident varies. Initial reports suggested it became physical and that the woman's camera was damaged. Though police in Malmö, Sweden said they could not find evidence of that claim. Okay. So it also says in recent weeks, a lot has happened, and this is from June, has happened behind the scenes at Albatross in the aftermath of the disappointing outcome of the Eurovision Song Contest for the Netherlands. We will try to share what is possible and at the same time asked for understanding for the fact that not everything can be made public. The broadcaster stated, as the case remains under investigation with Sweden's prosecution service, the broadcaster declined to comment on specific details about the case. Okay, so that tells me that whatever information they have that they don't want to tell, it would jeopardize Joost's case. And he may get prosecuted. Yep, so keep that secret. Then it says we can say that based on information that we have then and now, we still believe that the disqualification was unnecessary and disproportionate. The broadcaster continued. Klein was initially suspended and was not allowed to take part in the crucial jury show performance. During that time, Abertro said that they supported Klein even though he made a threatening gesture because they saw no evidence of an escalation of physical contact. It doesn't matter. Look, he made a threatening gesture. That's just not allowed. A threatening gesture, and according to the other, a fist at the camera. A fist. Okay. I want to go back to Abertro's statement from May, where they said, okay, I already talked about the agreement. If it's not in writing, you don't have an agreement. And EBU, you should be making agreements like that anyway if you did make the agreement. But if it wasn't in writing, there's no agreement. Let's see. He did not. Well, yeah, we didn't want to film. Yeah, if you didn't want to be filmed, you should have stayed in the Netherlands. It's plain and simple. You should have just stayed in the Netherlands. He touched the camera. He touched the camera. Now, there's indication that he didn't touch her, but he touched the camera. Some kind of way she got a laceration. Okay, and in some jurisdictions, I think in the United States, even touching the camera would be considered assault because the camera would be an extension of the camera person. Okay. And if you touch the camera, hit the camera, and it caused her to fall and injure herself, that's an assault. Okay. But that's in the parts of the United States, not all over. I'm surprised that in Sweden that's not the case. But anyway, that's a big deal. And then Abertro says, we stand for good manners. Let that be no misunderstanding for that. Apparently, you don't stand for good manners. You don't stand for good manners. See, the thing is, there was threatening behavior. Okay. Whether he yelled at the camera woman, whether he looked at her mean, when to cause her to be afraid. The indication here where he's a fist at her. It's threatening behavior. That's not good manners. Now, if you had an agreement, what Joost should have done, knowing that you had an agreement, is went on to the green room and filed a complaint afterwards and demanded that any video, pictures, or anything that was taken of him be destroyed, and then get you a written statement attesting that it was all destroyed, and keep that as your evidence. That's what you should have did. You should have done, not did. Sorry, should have done. Okay, but instead of that, Joost decides to give Big D energy. Yep, I said it, Big D energy, and go with the threatening behavior. And the Big D energy is Big Diva energy. Okay, Big Diva energy. There are no big divas at Eurovision. You want to be a diva, you should stay in the Netherlands. And don't get me wrong, I like Joost's song, You're a Papa. I liked it. It was great. I was just very disappointed that he was disqualified. But you cannot go to a song contest like Eurovision and talk about you don't want to be filmed, you don't want pictures taken of you after your performance. All you know, and Avatros, you know that happens at Eurovision. You don't want the pressure, this and the pressure that, but don't bring all artists who cannot handle the pressure. Yes, I can see there's a lot of the pressure because there's a lot is look, it's fast moving. Uh, it's a week. Things got to happen. You got to make sure that the program sells. So there are things going on. Yes, a lot of pressure. If you have an artist, and a lot of the artists that come are amateur artists, new artists. If they can't handle that, then they're in the wrong profession. They're in the wrong business. Because you come there to, in fact, to hope that your music, people hear your music, see you, like it, purchase it. You go on concert tours, you get famous. And you have lots of cameras, videos, all that kind of stuff in your face, people in your business. If that you can't handle that, then you should not be coming. You should not be at Eurovision. And advertisers you want to talk about is unsafe. Give us details. That has nothing to do with Joost's case. Give us details of why it was unsafe. The politics of it. Yes, Eurovision. Ever since I followed Eurovision, I've always heard keep the politics out of it. However, that's very difficult to do. You always have people who are in the Eurovision who will try to bring the politics in it. They try to bring the politics in it. And I think they've done a very good job keeping politics out of it. But that's difficult to do. Not everybody follows directions. Okay, let me make sure. Let's see. Oh, there's one last article that I came across from, I forget the name of the newspaper. But anyway, it's dated June 18th. And it's like the case, Joost's case still has not um, been concluded. There's a delay. Something about his Swedish lawyers need translations, pending translations from the Dutch witnesses of the incident. That was June 18th. So here we are. We're in July. So you know, this long. Um, no one should be threatened. No one should be hurt uh, behind, by anyone, especially not over them taking, a picture of them or video of them in a situation where taking a picture and doing video of artists is commonplace. Everyone knows that happens. It's commonplace. But Joost was disqualified. He didn't perform. He should not be allowed to perform at all in any other future Eurovision. It shouldn't take this long for this to be decided. But hey, it is what it is. What happens happens. You know. Um, I sympathize, with the camera woman. Um, you know, she shouldn't have felt threatened. She's doing her job, um, and you shouldn't be on your job feeling afraid. Like I said, if there was an agreement made, obviously there were a lot of people with cameras that didn't get that message. They were not told that there was an agreement not to film Joost. And Joost decided to take it out on one person. And like I said, if there was an agreement, first you get it in writing. And I'm going to say it again. If it's not in writing, then there was never an agreement. And I also said, EBU, you should not be making agreements about no video, no cameras. That's Eurovision. That's what it's about. People want to see pictures. People want to see videos. It doesn't matter when it is. During the contest, before performance, after performance, during performance, we want to see it. So there's going to be video and there are going to be cameras, pictures taken. But if there was an agreement, then Joost, when Joost got off stage, he should have saw the cameras, kept walking, go to the green room, and it sounds like there should have been someone from his delegation with him, or waiting behind stage for him. It sounds like it. I don't think he should have been by himself, or someone should have been with him. He should have went to the green room. If there was no one with him, whoever was escorting him to the green room, when he got to the green room, his delegation was there. He should have said they were taking pictures and video of me after my performance. A complaint should have been filed with the EBU if there was an agreement. And then you wouldn't have this. You wouldn't be disqualified. You just can't take it in your own hands like that. But like I said, Eurovision is not any place for big D energy, big diva energy. No, 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 no. Okay. Look, that's my commentary. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Make sure you, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like this video, share this video, comment if you feel like you want to comment. Okay. Let me know what you think. And until next time, adios.